Somewhere in central Turkey, a farmer knocked down a wall in his basement in 1963. Behind it, he found a tunnel. That tunnel led to a room. That room led to another tunnel. Within days, he had uncovered a city built to hold 20,000 people, hidden beneath his own home for over 1,000 years. This is Derinkuyu. Most people have never heard the name. It sits in the region of Cappadocia, carved into soft volcanic rock, reaching 18 stories into the earth. No temple marks its entrance. No monument announces its size. It was never meant to be found. It was meant to be a secret. And for centuries, it worked. Cappadocia's rock is unlike anywhere else on Earth. Ancient volcanic eruptions left behind a stone soft enough to carve with hand tools, yet strong enough to hold its shape for thousands of years. Early inhabitants noticed this. Small cave dwellings appeared first, simple shelters cut into cliffs and hillsides. But something changed. People stopped building up. They started digging down. Historians trace the earliest tunnels to the Phrygians around the 8th century BC. Life on the surface was dangerous. Raiders swept through the region again and again, so communities began carving refuge chambers, small at first, just enough to hide grain and livestock during a raid. Over centuries, those chambers grew. Generation after generation added new levels, new rooms, new passages, until a simple hiding spot became something far larger. By the time Derinkuyu reached its final form, it stretched roughly 280 feet underground. It held stables for animals, storage rooms for food, wine and oil presses, chapels, schools, and even a possible barracks. Ventilation shafts, some over 200 feet deep, pulled fresh air down to the lowest levels. Water wells were cut so residents never had to surface, even under siege. Every design choice served one purpose: survival without ever stepping outside. No cranes, no steel supports, no blueprints as we understand them today. Workers carved this entire structure using hand tools, torchlight, and an intimate understanding of the rock around them. Ceilings were shaped to distribute weight evenly. Passages were kept narrow and low, forcing anyone entering to bend down, exposing their neck to defenders waiting just around the corner. Every tunnel was a weapon as much as a hallway. Perhaps the most striking feature is the door system. Massive circular stones, some weighing over 1,000 pounds, could be rolled across tunnel entrances from the inside. Attackers could not push them open from the outside. A small hole in the center allowed defenders to see out or strike with a spear without ever opening the door. In the dark, an invading force would face doors that felt more like fortress gates than home entrances. For centuries, the tunnels were sealed, forgotten by outsiders, remembered only in fragments by locals. When that farmer broke through his basement wall in 1963, he had no idea he was reopening a doorway that thousands had used to survive. Archaeologists who followed found evidence of habitation stretching back thousands of years, layered like sediment, each era leaving its own mark on the stone. Derinkuyu is now open to visitors, though only a fraction of its levels are accessible. Engineers still study its ventilation systems for lessons in ancient design. What makes it remarkable is not just its size, but its purpose. It was never built to impress anyone. It was built by people who simply wanted to survive, using nothing but rock, patience, and generations of shared effort. Beneath the fields of central Turkey, an entire world once thrived without anyone above ever knowing it was there. Derinkuyu is a reminder that history is not only written on monuments and in palaces. Sometimes it is carved in silence, deep beneath the ground, by people who simply refused to disappear. If a story like this exists hidden under a Turkish farm, what else is still waiting to be found beneath our feet? Subscribe if you want to find out, and let us know in the comments, which hidden city should we uncover next?